Hello everybody, as you can see in front of me, this is a video on our latest acquisition. I can't believe I'm quite saying it. Our second Massey digger, Massey Ferguson 702 industrial. With a 702 loader and a 710 back actor. It's a 4-cylinder, standard 2.3C engine. Wants a bit of love. It's absolutely coated in oil. Literally, I've driven this off the low loader and onto here, and that's it. I haven't touched it, I haven't driven it very much. All I know is it wants some hydraulic oil because the loader's very slow, and the back tyres want some air. You can see in the book it says 1962, but I'm pretty sure it's a 1959 machine, one of the first Massey diggers, because it's got a 35 back end, not a 65 back end as all the later ones did, like this one, like the 203s. You can see it says Massey Ferguson there on the side of the bonnet. It's only got the one clutch pedal, not dual clutch. And the only one brake pedal, the MF702. A little ratcheting thing to hold the throttle in place when you're on the digger. It's got all linkage. Well, it's got the top cover and a PTO, which I think in its life's been used because all the pins aren't C-solid. But as you can see, it's a 35 back end, so he's only got the one set of mounting points, whereas this one's got two. I don't think you can see, and that's wrong, but he's just that little bit narrower, so it's quite handy. There's a couple little jobs which we can't quite fit that in, so this one will. And it was local, well, 15 miles away, and not very expensive, which is good. It's Somerset registered, 446 NYC. So that one's GYA 121D. These little tiny back wheels on it. Got both rear lights. All the front lights and the marker lights work. I haven't even tested the plough lamps yet, or the work lights. But you see, he's done a bit of work. He's all quite worn in comparison to, I mean, this one's still worn, but not quite to the same extent. There's little differences between the two. The back actors on these should be pretty identical, as with the loaders. But you see, there's a few little differences. Like this one's got a sight gauge on it, and this one's got a really long dipstick. This one's got the old contact type spool valve, and this one's got the later type with float in your bucket. Yeah, and it's got a little belt-driven power steering pump. The power steering doesn't work, as you can see. This ram's been disconnected. I'm not 100% sure why it doesn't work. Sounds like there's oil in the system. Yeah, I'm finding all stuff out about this as much as you are. It's got the independent brake pedals like you would on a T20 on the back. As it's a 4-cylinder, it does need a whiff of easy start to get it to go, but I haven't even serviced it yet. The bucket's pretty well brand new in comparison to that one. That one's completely rotted to bits. This one's still got a good cutting edge and all the teeth and all the shear plates on the side and everything. Even got the badge on the loader. Massey 702 with a little proper lights on it and a little tin badge. Now, what you have to do in the comments, guess how much you think I paid for it. That one was 3,500. Well, we paid for it. I paid for some of it. Dad paid for some of it. I'm going to pay him off eventually. That one was 3,500, but he's quite rare. So what do you think this one is? But this one is equally as rare, but just less desirable, purely because of the 4-cylinder engine. How the hell someone managed to crack this and break a section out? But I don't know. I've got a new filter for this side that came with it, plus the original brown logbook and everything. The main problem with this tractor is it hasn't got any brakes that work. So he's even got the PTO and ground drive and all. Is the master cylinder, I'll press the brakes, really doesn't work at all. Yeah, the seals are gone in it completely, so there's a lot of wear in that. So he must be quite early because he's got the separate tray on the back, so you can have two 6-volt batteries. See, no lighter on the side. In theory, this should unscrew. Unless I'm unscrewing the whole thing. I don't know, I'll have a look in the book. Because that should be a big long dipstick, apparently. But I'm not sure quite how that would work, because that's on an elbow. So whether there's level plugs or something. Don't know many people with these early machines, so I'll just have to figure it out. See, the spool valve operates in sort of the opposite way. So you can do two at once, I think. Quite interesting little system. But they changed from these very quickly. No, this one's Downty, that one's Contact. I'm not 100% sure. You lot probably know better than me. And the difference, you also have to, when you change between digger and back actor, that little lever, I'm not 100% sure which way is which yet. And you and it separates oil flow from the back actor, and you diverse it from loader to back actor, which seems a bit overly complicated. It seems as that one doesn't need it. I suppose it puts less stress on everything and you get higher speeds. All the back's slanting a bit, not sure quite what that is. I think it might be the tyres want a bit more. And that's completely solid on the bottom of there, whereas that other one, it's plate. He's even got the back actor plate, 710. These should all clean up lovely with a wet and dry and some polish. The last owner's had it for 5 years. I'd be the 4th owner of it, all documented, all in the logbook. The owner before him had it since 1987 and sold it about 5 years ago. So he stayed very local. It was at Taunton from New, Fivehead, and then went to Wincanton, which is local to me, about 10 miles, and then went just up the road to North Cheriton and then to me. But yeah, considering we didn't have a digger at all 2 months ago, and now we've got 2, I think we're quite good going. I'll start it in a bit and you have to hear it run. Oh, and something I need to get, if anyone has one spare, I could really do with a foot plate. I'm not 100% sure how it bolts on here, because I'm guessing it bolts through that. Or whether they even had a foot plate from New. They're absolute pain to get on and off, especially because I'm a bit taller. I'm 6'2", so getting on and off of that one, it's a hell of a lot easier than getting on and off of this, because you've just got that bit more room on that one, and you're up that bit higher. But as I've already found out, he must leak quite a bit of oil, because the 390 was parked here before and he doesn't leak, or at least not from there, at least from the back end. And that's your little horn there on the side. Little tiny brass fittings for the power steering. Oil filter, injector pump. Oil fillers in there. How the hell are you meant to get to that? Looks more like a radiator cap. Yeah, hard nose. Should be, yeah, they've sheared it off on that side. Bloody hell, how the hell did they manage that? Sheared the loader off on both sides. Good shitty weld on there, but this one's got bigger rams and everything. It's just little differences that make that one a bit special and that one a bit special. Hasn't got any dealer plates on it, which is a bit of a shame. But even the stupid thing with this, for the money we paid for it, I could take the back actor off and run it as a tractor. It would be easy. Just as a 4-cylinder 35. See, it's had a different handbrake put on in its life, because that one's painted grey. Like this, I could put the potato harvester spool valve on it and run the potato harvester off of it, which is a bit mad to think about, because it's a standard 3-speed gearbox rather than that one's torque converter. So there's little differences. Main thing I like about it in comparison to that one, you can get up here and stand under here, stand between the two to get onto the back actor. Whereas that one, you have to scramble up the side because it hasn't got the plate. This one's also got a nice bit of padding on the seat. Yeah, there's a lot more play in these to maybe make up some little nylon bushes or something for them. And this one looks like it leaks a bit more out of the rams. And that top one looks like you want a bit of work. I mean, that one was rusty when we got it. And the previous owner's son cleaned all the rams up before the sale. But, yeah, and he's also got the stage to hold the back actor where he is. Overall, I think we did pretty well. I really like it anyway, and I think that's all that matters for a minute. And Dad likes it. So, well, and I forgot to say, one of the main reasons we thought this digger would be quite good is because it comes with all 4 buckets. Got the little trenching bucket size, it's cracked, it wants a bit of welding, but it should be alright. Still got a lot of meat on it. And then, I'm not sure what this one is, 2-foot bucket, 18-inch. And that one's also pretty immaculate. A good cutting edge. They've all been welded in different places, but I mean they're 60-year-old buckets, or 50-something-year-old buckets. Well, they probably are 60 years old, yeah. Then you've got a bigger bucket, which I'm guessing must be 3 foot, maybe not quite. Maybe that's 2 foot, that's 18 inch, I'm not sure. See, that one's cracked on the cutting edge as well. But they've still got really good meat on them. And the main reason it's good is we've got a 6 foot grading bucket, which was, when we went to pick it up, was in the owner's shed behind his caravan. So he even kept the buckets inside, which I'm gonna have to try and find a home for these because they can't live here in front of the silage. But the ditching bucket, getting one of these, or at least I've tried to find one since we bought the 3165R, and finding one is very difficult. And the little tiny trenching bucket. The other two are just a bonus. That one will be good for material handling and that general work. But those two make these diggers very handy. So I've already got a job. Mother wants her garden redone. Ideal. Digging in the pipes, grading it, putting in stone, putting in soil. Because now, as of today was my last day of school in June, last exam. So now I am free to fiddle about with diggers until I go to college. Right, I'll get you a video of him started up. Okay, let's see if she'll start. That's open just enough, it's wedged on the exhaust. I don't know if it's bent or something, or the bonnet's bent, but it's stuck at that. It's just so you can reach the top of the air breather to get the easy start in. It's all right, go into the toolbox with the can of easy start. Because we have tried it even in 27-degree heat and it won't even try. Give it a bit of throttle, make sure the stop's in. How am I going to do this and hold the camera? Screw it in there now. Try it. Need to be spraying it and turning the engine over. Typical 2.3C, pretty smoky, but like I said, guess how much we paid for it? I want to get it down by the workshop so I can service it. I don't want to run it, like, I don't think there's any oil in the power steering or much oil in the hydraulics, so get it down by the workshop. Lift these legs up first. Oh, if the back actor is enabled. Oh, I need 2 hands for that. Right. The clutch biting point is quite high on this, so I reckon that will want adjusting. You can tell it hasn't been used in a while. Right, so as much as it's been protecting the paintwork for the last however many years, all this grime and crap really ought to come off. So I've got a little video now of it all, how it is. And then I'll get one of it all power washed off. Get around this side. All of this grime on here. Try and get all this off. Right. Well, so she's a little bit more yellow now it's been cleaned. For some reason it's got a grey starter on. I'm guessing the old one must have packed up and they just stuck a later one on it or something. Still a few little bits I missed, but I didn't want to get too close to the dynamo or to any of the hydraulics so I didn't blow a hole through it with the pressure washer. Plus that side, and here's this side. This looks a lot better. Injection pump's not covered in oil now. I managed to cover up, uncover a bit of the sticker. Massey Ferguson along there. Because that was painted over, because the thing must have had a coat of paint in its life. Not like the other one that's had about 6, but I also managed to uncover the badge. Because the badge was painted over as well. I've done a little bit of the back actor, but it's protected for a minute, and I don't need to really But I think I'll use this one more for, I don't really know, because the back actor on the other one's less worn, but the engine needs a little bit of work because one of the injectors leaks oil down onto the manifold, so that means it could catch fire. So this one would probably do some work for a minute till I sort out the other one. Now let's just service it. I think that'll do for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Now you've seen both our diggers in the space of 2 months, and we might, don't hold me to this, but there may be another one coming. I know, dangerous. This is a disease. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Cheers, bye.